to stop here? I just want to get on the plane.
Well, we have to stop, screen, go before we get on the plane. This is a security checkpoint, and those people work for TSA.
Oh, it looks kind of scary. I don't think Molly will like it.
Nah, it's not scary. TSA officers are here to keep us secure. So don't worry. Just remember, stop, screen, go.
Stop, screen, go? What does that mean?
Just watch. First, we stop here and hand our travel documents to the officer. She screens it.
Thank you.
Then we go.
Wow, that was easy. What's next?
We stop. Then we put our stuff in the bins, and the machine screens it. Then we go.
Do I need to take off my shoes too?
Nope, kids under 12 don't have to. But your game system and Molly's bear need to take a ride.
Bye-bye, bear. Bye-bye.
Do we get our toys back?
Yep, you just need to walk through that rectangle first. It's a metal detector.
Do we have to stop, screen, go here too?
Yep, you got it.
Stop, screen, and go. But wait, Mom, what's he doing with Molly's bottle?
Oh, it's stop, screen, go for baby bottles too. But don't worry, she'll get her milk back.
Here you go.
Are we all done?
Yep.
That wasn't scary. It's just stop, screen, go.
Yep. That's what it takes to get ready for takeoff.
Thank you, TSA.
You're welcome. Have a great trip.
Bye-bye.
A little boy takes shirt off at the airport.
They're harassing a kid?
It's ridiculous.
Like tigers, animals, anything like that? Huh?
Rocco, he's got to check you. He's just going to check you out, okay?
Yeah. Can you sit up for me?
Sit up. Real nice. Just check you, okay? It's no big deal. Yeah, we're going to go there and then we're going to eat in a minute. I know.
If you can you lift your shirt up? If you don't want to do it here, I can do the thing to a private screening area. Okay. The back side? What time is the flight? Okay. Can you put your hand right there? Yeah, just like that. How about this hand? Can I see that hand?
Tonight, the TSA is standing by this video. It's a girl crying as security screeners check her for explosives. The 12-year-old is in a wheelchair, and her mother, who screeners kept at a distance, did the only thing she could. She recorded it.
Protests continue across India against the arrest and mistreatment of an Indian diplomat in the U.S. In Kolkata, angry protesters held a rally calling on the provincial government to take retaliatory measures against U.S. diplomats living in the city. They're also demanding the removal of security barricades in front of the U.S. consulate in the city.
The woman should not have been treated like this according to diplomatic relations. Therefore, we want the provincial government to remove the barricades from in front of U.S. Embassy. We also want the government here to follow the steps taken by federal government in New Delhi.
Now, similar demonstrations were also held in Ajmer city. Protesters shouted anti-U.S. slogans, saying that India did not take strong enough steps against the U.S. The arrest of Divyani Khobragade on charges of underpaying her nanny and her subsequent strip search has sparked a row within the Indian Foreign Service and put an unexpected strain on the ties between the two countries. In response to U.S. actions, India has withdrawn some privileges given to U.S. diplomats and removed security barricades at the U.S. Embassy in New Delhi.
Hey everyone, welcome to GGN. It's Friday, December 20th, 2013, and I'm Darko. Alright, sorry if you hear some screaming or banging in the background. It's not going to be trains or dogs barking, but my neighbors. So, okay, so you probably heard this story about the diplomat being arrested. It could be for different reasons. You really don't know. I mean, one of the things about India, they just passed this December 12th, a ruling in India. Of course, the West and Washington Post calls it shameful, but You know, it's like Russia. If this is their culture, this is their country, then let them do what they're going to do. Stay the F out of other countries and other cultures' business. But they can't. So homosexuality, because like I said, it's used to subvert other countries to gain usually some kind of significant control over their population through usually the economy. But homosexuality becomes a crime. So, but back to this. She was arrested for visa fraud and for paying her maid just $3.31 an hour. Released on $250,000 bond. Yeah. So they made some money off that. Repeating handcuffing, stripping, and cavity searches and swabbing. But it says here that the one of the things, the measures, was that they froze the import of duty-free alcohol. They said here that it's no longer about an individual; it's about our sense of as a nation. The foreign minister said. Well, the U.S. isn't apologizing. They said here that they alerted the Indian embassy in writing of the minimum wage violation and possible arrest as early as September. But she's lucky that she didn't end up like this. She had a cavity search on the New Mexico border by the U.S. Customs agent and was billed $5,000 for it. So like we said, India just passed this bill, calls for a 10-year prison sentence for whoever voluntarily has intercourse against the order of nature with any man, woman, or animal. Moving on here, Duck Dynasty under fire following Starr's incendiary anti-gay comments or remarks. So in the land of the free, where there's free speech, doesn't really have to be protected by any amendments. The media is very powerful, and it's used by the culture industry and by the people, powers that be, that control us on this side of the globe. But imagine it's the same all around. But over here, you don't say that stuff, so they'll pull your card. And it could be worse. I mean, instead of just taking some criticism and letting other people speak their mind. I know that there's probably a lot of people that are gay that aren't for all of this real intolerance, using laws and media to squash people speaking their minds or speaking out against it. But in Africa, they're still trying to push that stuff. In South Africa, they have. Uganda passes anti-gay bill that includes life in prison, so you could actually get life in prison in Uganda, and this was December 20th. But just like that TSA video using animals to bypass the family and the parents to program that it's okay. You saw the kid crying, saying, "I want my mommy, what are you doing?" They're questioning things, and they know that there's just something not right. I mean, there's something with human dignity that you give the person to travel, especially women and children, but all people, you know, and what they're doing is just violating that dignity. It's about dehumanizing people. So, but like I said, here it's different. Here, students shut down school as gay vice president principal has been fired. So, you know, the guy, what did he do? Catholic high school canceled classes because there says here, Catholic school says he violated contract with same-sex wedding. The school learned he had married his male partner over the summer. So it went viral, the protest spread to nearby Catholic schools with more protests taking place. So this is going to offend people possibly, I don't know, but you know, you know, a lot of times it's like, when aren't you? This is my own theory. It doesn't mean that it's truth. This is why I'm not an advocate of multiculturalism and all that stuff, which is you target the youth, and of course the youth, they don't really identify with anything. They identify with fashion. They identify with the culture that's created for them. They don't identify with their people. So you see light-skinned blacks, kids that were raised, the product of, you know, interracial couples. You see the one white kid kind of looking down, doesn't even know why he's there. You know, the white female at the front yelling. Me personally, I don't think that this is something that should be etched in law, that you should be against it, but it's like, it shouldn't be promoted. So people aren't going to go in Africa and probably get life in prison. They're just trying to say, well, you know, as a whole, we're not really for this. But I think we're far past that in the U.S. I'm just a witness to this. I may not agree. I don't agree with it, but I'm at least going to go on record saying that I don't agree with it as it happens. But they are going to bypass parents. They've done a great job, and it's fashionable. They made it fashionable, so that's part of the culture industry is from homosexuality. People who want to say boys want to say they're girls and then switch back and say that they're boys, you know. But in South America, you don't see this. It's frowned upon in society. They don't really need laws, but it is, you know, you're warned if you go down there by the U.S. government. Africa, same thing. Like I said, Asia, same thing. So it's only in Europe. It's in North America and Australia, which are all pushing multiculturalism big time. My point is that there is no resistance to this changing of their culture, engineering of it, changing their morals. So I'm saying you need church and religion to do that. People will find that. But in nature, most of the times, it's not really a part of it, which is why they said that in the law. They literally stipulated that in the Indian law about the rules, you know, whatever, the rules of nature and stuff. Way, New Mexico Supreme Court legalizes gay marriage. They ruled that gay marriage is legal in the land of enchantment, New Mexico. Federal, same place where they accosted that woman at the border. Federal judge rejects Utah's ban on gay marriage, so calls it unconstitutional. So, good for you. And just to further the theme about this, things are different in other countries, but they want a unilateral system, basically, no difference. That's the kind of the global order. U.S. executions fall below 40 for a year. Opposition groups thinks it might be in the final chapter of capital punishment. So has violent crime gone down? Murders? No, it hasn't. There's more people being incarcerated because they make a lot of money off of it too. Institutionalizes people. In Japan, they're being condemned by the West for secret execution, being hanged or hung. I'm not saying that North Korea is all nice and hunky-dory, but there's probably a reason why, at least to a certain extent, they close off to the south. It'd be nice if they were united, that they had their own culture, that they created themselves without outside influence, but they don't. And so this is what they were talking about in the North. Welcome to the world of mukbang, where you can watch young Korean people eat their dinner for hours. South Korea is all about dinner porn. That's right, the latest internet trend from the most wired places on earth. Bizarre form of dinner porn called mukbang. It's broadcast. It's basically people live streaming themselves eating dinner. And speaking of stars, she shaved her head, of course, and she's a big star. And so, anyways, I know a lot of people like that movie. I've never watched it or read the books, but it should be illegal to call someone fat, says Jennifer Lawrence. So now that her market brand is, you know, her stock is up, people are going to listen. The youth's going to listen, so. Hallelujah. Justin Bieber says he's retiring, so he's going to call it quits. Speaking of court rulings, you have Ginsburg. She's not retiring. Sorry, liberals, I'm not retiring. At 80, she still feels up to the job at the Supreme Court. Then the number of American atheists doubled since 2007. 54% said that they have absolute certainty in God's existence, and 19% describe themselves as very religious. So, past 8 years, a drop from 82% to 72% of U.S. adults who believe. And a teen allegedly raped an elderly nun outside a church. She was 18, accused of the heinous attack from Pennsylvania, beating and raping an 85-year-old retired nun in a church parking lot. Then data brokers are selling personal info of rape victims to marketers. They're called data brokers. They sell personal health information for marketing use, including rape victims, HIV individuals, those with depression, dementia, and women gynecologist visits. And I posted a video earlier about a mother talking about Common Core. You have Ohio bill would require parents to undergo state investigation before homeschooling. Again, it's all about the parents raising the children and bypassing the parents. So, because that's kind of the defense. It's the only defense that they have. If you're trying to change the future of society to make it more controllable for whatever reasons, you get rid of that defense, which is the youth, which is the future. So you destroy families, you increase divorces, whatever it takes. The law replaces parents with unqualified social workers to make educational decisions for children. They're sold as a safer alternative, although I don't believe that. Most of these replacements, alternatives, are actually worse, but it's about just telling you what you can and cannot do. 9 states propose anti-fluoridation bills in 2013, including South Dakota, Connecticut, Minnesota, Illinois, and Arkansas. And even though regular exercise is supposedly going to reduce developing dementia, Canada, the post office, is telling seniors to walk to your community mailbox. It'll be good for your health. Again, with South Korea, the youth and culture, Korean teens are deploying do-it-yourself plastic surgery methods.